The office markets in these city centers will definitely continue to grow because we are in the world of knowledge work. And these kind of jobs, these knowledge jobs, like to cluster near to one another. So that means that all those office jobs benefit from being next to other office jobs. And the office jobs all are clustered in the CBDs. That means that we will create higher high-rises, that we will refurbish the existing high-rises, that there will be a competition in the CBDs or near the CBDs for zoning. Are we zoning this particular tower as residential, as mixed, as commercial? These will be big issues over the next couple of years, and this really speaks to a larger question about planning philosophies, because the big capital cities all have the same strategy, that they say we want to really push the so-called secondary CBDs, the secondary employment hubs. And that's a great idea, and it's perfect urban planning theory, because this way you could spread out the jobs and therefore spread out the pressure on the residential housing market a bit further. And that works really well in theory, as long as you get the jobs to move to where you want them to move, to the secondary employment hubs. And this is really difficult to pull off, especially if you act like Melbourne or Sydney and also at the same time really build out your existing CBD. Melbourne, of course, pushed the Docklands out as a residential and commercial site, and now is building out Fisherman's Bend. The same happened in Sydney with Barangaroo. So you're really doubling down on the existing CBD, and at the same time hoping that your secondary CBDs, your Parramatta, your Western Airport precinct, that those take off as well, which is of course a very difficult challenge to then really convince those knowledge jobs that love to cluster with one another in the first place, to convince them to actually move to a secondary employment hub.